Elderly Australians have been hardest hit by this pandemic. 3/4 of COVID deaths have occurred in aged care homes. Now, after isolating for more than a year, the vaccine is their ticket out.
There's a lot of anxiety. There are people who are anxious. We're trying to keep morale up with our staff as well as keep our residents safe.
Chris Marmarellis is the CEO of aged care provider Widden. The not-for-profit operates 22 homes with 1,800 residents, but only 6 homes have been vaccinated.
The vaccination program commenced in late February. We're now well and truly into April, and to have over 1,000 of our residents without a vaccination is unacceptable. And with employees at the same time who have no notification about timing, that compounds the problem even more.
Aged care residents and workers have been eligible for the vaccine since the rollout started as part of the priority group 1A. The Commonwealth has responsibility for vaccinating them and originally expected that to take about 6 weeks.
It will take as long as it takes. We have our clear targets, and that is to get through 1A and 1B by mid-year.
I think residents, family members, employees, I think they go through a process of there's anxiety, there's that confusion that they go through, and that can very quickly and easily turn into anger as well when the communication flow isn't coming.
Bianca Crouch works in food services at one of Widden's homes in southwest Sydney. The residents here have now been vaccinated, but the staff are still waiting.
During the time that we have worked in COVID within the past year, it has been that fear because COVID is very unpredictable. We don't know where it is or when it's going to arise, and I think that having that vaccination would make us feel a lot better being at work and knowing that our residents are safe.
The Prime Minister fronted the media today to hit back at claims he was blaming the European Union for holding up 3.1 million doses of AstraZeneca jabs.
That's not a dispute, it's not a conflict, it's not an argument, it's not a clash.
The government was expecting to have 3.8 million doses from Europe by now, but so far only 700,000 of those have been delivered.
I simply stated a fact, that 3.1 million of the contracted vaccines that we had been relying upon in early January, when we'd set out a series of targets, did not turn up in Australia.
The government also hoped CSL's factory in Melbourne would be making 1 million doses of AstraZeneca each week by the end of March, but it is yet to reach that goal.
However, they are absolutely clear that in coming weeks they are committed to regularly achieve over 1 million doses a week.
Transparency is absolutely critical. If there is a problem out there, if the government's dealing with issues, let us know, be transparent about it, because the communication and the information to families, residents, employees is the key.
We really need the government to say, this is our plan, these are the targets, and report at least every week about how we're going against those targets and that plan.
Check out the waiting room. In order to get ready for this vaccine rollout, we pushed our clinic outwards and took over a suite next door. We knocked a hole through a wall. We spent money. We bought a massive vaccination fridge in addition to our own needs. We bought 50 new chairs for patients. We mapped out exactly where they'll sit. Yeah, it's just empty because we just don't have vaccine.
Last month, the Nelson Plaza Clinic in Port Stephens spent $25,000 expanding its site, expecting that its doctors would be vaccinating hundreds of patients every day.
In fact, we really looked at our capacity and thought that if we were the only clinic in the area that were able to deliver vaccines, that we could deliver up to 1,000 vaccines a day.
It's quite booked out at the moment.
Instead, the clinic is receiving just 50 doses a week from the federal government.
We had people lined up out the door. Every single phone line was flashing red. People were angry.
AstraZeneca.
Yeah.
We just don't have enough jabs to actually put in people's arms. We have over 3,500 patients in 1B, and yet we get 50 vaccines a week. It just doesn't even come close. It's an impossibility.
The reality is we have to do this quickly because there's always a risk there'll be a breach of hotel quarantine. There's always a risk that new variants will come along. We want to be ahead of the new variants. And of course, the longer we take to do the vaccinations, the longer it's going to be before the borders reopen.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.